welcome back to the Cowboys Fan Show, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Ortega, Scott Jeter, Adriel Villa on the far side, our fan of the week. So, guys, let's go ahead and have a look now around the NFC East. Let's see how the other three teams are doing. We had two of them taking each other on this week, so let's just go ahead and jump right into that. It's the Eagles taking on the Giants here in the scouting reports. This game was close all the way through. We'll pick it up here, 14-0, Eagles on top. And there goes number 13 again, guys.
Number 13 again. That is everything that they have offensively. New York is OBJ.
You know, and I kind of feel bad for him because he is a great receiver. You know, as much as we like to hate on the Giants and Odell Beckham Jr., he is one of the best in the game. And you know, it's kind of like, you know, those old guys that they're just great players, but they can never find their way onto a good team.
Like Romo for us for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that was one of his 9 catches on the day for 79 yards. He'd also have another touchdown. Here goes Zach Ertz, coughing that one up. It's going to be recovered by the Giants. Zach Ertz led the Eagles in receptions with 8 catches. He had 55 yards and a touchdown. There's Eli Apple getting in to force the fumble. Fun fact, Zach Ertz, his wife actually plays for the U.S. women's national soccer team.
Really?
Yeah, Jolie Johnston.
Wow, that's impressive.
Anyways, there's number 13 again. The corners say no, but the fact of the matter is, this is a world-class catch.
Yeah, and for let's face it, right now, anytime you're going to be like, New York touchdown, it's going to be number 13.
Right. Yeah, OBJ just having his way with the defenders there. Carson Wentz had himself a good day as well. 21 for 31. Wentz was 176 yards through 1 touchdown. Eli threw the ball 47 times, guys. Had completed 35 of them. I mean, that's pretty good. 35 for 47, 366 yards. You saw 2 of his 3 touchdowns. He also had 2 interceptions on the day. So fourth quarter here, we're knotted up at 14. There's Eli. Finds Sterling Shepard. Shepard led the Giants in receiving yards, 133 yards on the day on 7 catches, and he goes to the house on that one.
All right, I was wrong. So, yeah, touchdown to somebody who is not number 13.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if we took the helmet off, I think that might be Odell Beckham. That really looked like an OBJ-esque play.
Yeah,
just a quick slant over the middle, and he outruns the secondary.
Learn from the best.
Absolutely right. So, but what that says to me right here, Tyler, is New York has 0 running game.
Yeah, they have 0 running game. In fact, their leading rusher was Orleans Darkwa. He had 22 yards on 7 carries. Carson Wentz now and the Eagles working from 7 points down, going deep, and there's a flag thrown on Eli Apple. You know, and quick side note here for the Eagles, they would lose Darren Sproles for the season, tore his ACL and broke his arm on the same play. So there's Wendell Smallwood. Is that Smallwood? Actually, no, I'm sorry about that.
That's Clement.
That's Clement there getting in for 6, and they're going to tie it up 21-21, guys. We've got 4.5 minutes left. Here's the 2-time Super Bowl champ, Eli Manning, finds his receiver, Sterling Shepard, over the middle. And a 41-yard attempt here. And it's squeaking in. So the Giants take a 3-point lead here. 2 minutes left in the game. Let's see if Carson Wentz can get it done. He's going to hand off. Not much doing there, but we see a penalty flag come in. That was Smallwood on the carry. So now 46-yard attempt here with 56 seconds. Eagles looking to tie it up, and they do. So we've got 24-24, guys. These two teams really playing very even so far. Eagles with one last chance. 4 seconds. Wentz squeaks it in, and Alshon Jeffrey able to get out of bounds with 1 second left. There you see Janoris Jenkins and Eli Apple.
Man, between 3 defenders, that's a tough one.
And now a 61-yarder for the game, and it squeaks in. This is a rookie kicker, ladies and gentlemen. His parents were at the game, sitting in the opposite end zone. They actually took a video and posted it online. Really something special. You could check that out.
That 61-yarder by the rookie over there, I think his long in college was like 55 or 56 or something. I was literally checking my mail for that one and getting ready for overtime.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful 61-yarder there. So the Eagles move along for the W. They win it 27-24. 24 there on that last-second field goal. So let's go ahead and have a look now at the Redskins. They were at home playing host to the Oakland Raiders. Derek Carr and the Raiders making the literal cross-country trip to our nation's capital for this game. We'll pick it up here 3 minutes before the break. Vernon Davis found in the end zone over the middle by Captain Kirk. He went 25 for 30, 365 yards, and 3 TDs for Kirk Cousins.
Impressive. What was he making, like $25 million a year right now on the franchise tag? So I certainly hope he's doing something.
Keep franchising him there, as that's Richard picking up the first down for the black and silver. The Raiders really couldn't do much on offense on Sunday night. And here goes Chris Thompson here. Thompson had himself quite the game, guys. He had 6 catches, 150 yards, and a touchdown. That's a running back.
That is absolutely right. I mean, I have owned in what percentage of leagues there, Tyler? Maybe 30.
I couldn't even tell you. Yeah, it's very low. And Kirk Cousins again going deep. Redskins are up 21-0 at this point, guys, and it's not looking very good for Derek Carr and the Raiders.
No, and that's very uncharacteristic for these Raiders right here. I mean, just at this point in the game, they're getting dominated on both sides of the ball, and this is a tough one right here because that wasn't bad coverage, but obviously poor tackling.
Yeah, Josh Doxson there, the former Texas Christian Horned Frog receiver, made a lot of plays down there in Fort Worth for those Horned Frogs, now doing it up in our nation's capital. So 21-zip, 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Washington got on them early. And you know, Scott, you mentioned it before we started this. This is probably the largest distance between 2 franchises in the NFL. So
yeah,
a huge trip. And you know, typically when we see teams go across the country, they win about 20% of those games.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough trip right there. Yeah, I mean, the longest distance between 2 stadiums in this country is probably Oakland and D.C., right?
Yeah.
You know, barring Foxborough, but man, it just looked ugly by the Raiders there.
And there's a gift there from the Redskins muffing the punt. So let's see if the Raiders are able to do anything with it here. Derek Carr steps up in the pocket, fires it up, finds Jared Cook, and Cook reaches for the end zone, and he gets in. So no shutout for Washington.
No shutout. And yeah, and he has a little bit of time on that, but other than that, Derek Carr, he was under fire all day.
And here's Thompson once more. As I said, he had 150 receiving yards on 6 catches. And it's an odd situation that they've got going on up there in Washington. They don't really have a clear-cut number 1. They had Samaje Perine taking the lead back duties this game as Kelly is out. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work him in when he comes back.
Yeah, and that was a tough one right there. I mean, you can't tell whether or not that was good offense or it's just bad defense, Tyler.
Oof. I think just a little bit of both there, to be honest. And there's Samaje Perine getting stacked up. He puts it on the ground, and it's going to be recovered by Oakland. Perine, the former Oklahoma Sooner. So first and goal here for Washington. Derek Carr is going to drop back, and that's going to be tipped away by Washington. Derek Carr on the day, 19 for 31, only had 118 yards, 1 touchdown to go along with 2 picks.
Yeah, tough day for Derek Carr.
And there's, as we showed you, Samaje Perine on that one. He would actually get hurt on the play. So an already thin backfield for Washington just got even thinner.
Wow. Couple of gifts within the 10-yard line right there. I mean, you've got to just, and 10 points on the board, you've got to do a lot better than that.
Here we go again. Washington on offense, just looking to bleed out the clock here. It's 24-10. You know, and one person you did not see during these highlights, it's 4th and 23, and the Raiders are going for it. Carr is going to roll out and dump it off to his receiver there, who in turn coughs it up. Again, very sloppy play. That game's going to end with Washington tacking on 1 more field goal, so they would win that 27-10 final. As I was saying, one thing that you didn't see during that Redskins highlight at all was beast mode.
Yeah,
he actually played. He had 6 carries for just 18 yards. Jeez. So first off, let's go back to that Eagles-Giants game, guys. Let's go ahead and get your thoughts on that, Scott.
Eagles-Giants game, actually that one broke my heart because anybody that knows me personally knows that I cannot stand Philadelphia. And I don't like to use the word hate a lot, but I do use it to describe my feelings for Philadelphia.
Adriel?
I'm happy. I'm content. 0-3 Giants, what they did to us last year, we got the win back. And especially with Dak back there, first win against the Giants. This looks good for us. The Eagles, man, they can kick your butt at any direction. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. Their defense is as slick as can be. Yeah. And as you said earlier, Giants are looking one-dimensional right now.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, they are. And that's the whole thing, is they're not even looking one-dimensional. They just are. Yeah, I mean, Tyler and I were talking about it earlier. It's not like teams are going out there and making these Giants look like a one-dimensional team. They are straight up a one-dimensional team. You know, so I think it's easy to beat those guys. And that's also another reason that I'm more concerned about the Eagles this year, is Carson Wentz actually looks like the real deal. And they got a pretty solid front seven on D, so.
Well, and you can't make the Giants throw the ball that many times. I mean, Eli Manning, he's so frustrated right now. OBJ, how long can he be healthy? How long can you keep him making these circus catches to where, you know, you have to rely on Shepard in there?
Yeah.
Overall, I'm content. Giants are 0-3.
Cool.
That makes me smile.
Can't complain about that.
Yeah, and another thing that we didn't see at all during those Giants highlights, Brandon Marshall. You know, this guy was brought in to be a legit number 2 receiver for the New York Giants. He just has not come around for them, even with OBJ being out. You know, that first game, I think OBJ played in the second game sparingly, albeit, you know, Brandon Marshall just hasn't done much. A big physical receiver there. You know, a veteran. What's the deal
He's
with
been in the
that?
Pro Bowl a bunch of times. Yeah, well, I mean, he was injured during training camp. I think he had a shoulder or something, right?
A hammy, I think.
Probably both, to be honest with you. But there are rumors coming out of camp this year that he just wasn't a good fit for the scheme. And he's really brought in to be like a solid number 1 receiver, like a Dez-type receiver, the big possession guy, while OBJ, you know, gets moved around to the slot to the outside, and he's your speed guy. So I mean, it's just not working out for him scheme-wise.
Yeah. So now for the Redskins, Kirk Cousins again lighting it up, 365 passing yards, also had 3 touchdowns. But the question isn't at the quarterback spot, it's at the running back spot. You know, as I said, Kelly's already hurt. They had Samaje Perine step in there, and he got hurt as well. So that basically leaves you with Chris Thompson, who's kind of one of those in-betweeners. You know, he's kind of a slot guy. He's kind of, he reminds me a lot of Lance Dunbar from a couple years ago. You know, you want to get him on the swing passes, the open field. What are they going to do in the backfield?
Well, I mean, who's the lead back? You know,
right.
I mean, this is a third down possession type receiver. And I mean, obviously, I mean, you saw like the screen passes are working, you know, the misdirection plays are working for these guys. But I mean, that's not, you can't consistently win football games like that. I mean, that's like relying on OBJ to keep making one-handed catches for the rest of the year. You've got to have a solid base and an actual plan of attack, you know, to win these football games. So I'm not really all that concerned about that. Kirk Cousins did look good. And man, that defense just ate up these Oakland Raiders, who are supposed to have one of the better offensive lines in the league. So if they get handled like that, I'd really like to see us step in there and play these guys. I think it's going to be interesting.
That was our look around the NFC East. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, to preview our upcoming game against the LA Rams. You're watching the Cowboys Fan Show.
I feel like the Raiders.